Very interesting. Some of you will get that. Some of you won't. We're here at the Keeping Room in Dundas at the corner of King and Cross, and Phyllis Kraemer will talk to the proprietor in just a second, but this is a neat sign. One of the many, many, many things you can see here. This is great in anybody's home. Have a coffee, do stupid things faster with more energy, and I think it'd be kind of a neat little piece of nostalgia here. We are at the Keeping Room, as I mentioned, and Phyllis is getting all set. She's all excited for Oscars this Sunday.
I am.
And first of all, you're going to have some drinks. We'll talk about that in a second, but first of all, you want to get your ballots and all your information.
I do.
Now, where do they get that?
You can get that online. Just Google either One Good Thing by Jilly or The Art of Doing Stuff, which is a local blog, which is fantastic. They both give you pretty much a primer on all of the things that are happening. So between the fashion and the food and the cocktails, the beverages, you're good to go. You can sit down and you can all have your own little sheet and make your own ballot, fill out your own ballot for who's going to win what. It's fun.
Okay, and you got some neat stuff as far as the cocktail part of things is here. I do.
So first of all, let's talk a little bit about martinis. Mm-hmm. So
is that the drink of choice this year?
It seems to be trending. Yeah, I would say that it is the dirty martini with olive juice and vodka.
Olive juice.
Yeah, olive juice. But the big thing with making a really good martini is when you use vermouth, you always have that little bit of vermouth, put it in the glass, swirl it around, and dump it. You can dump it in another glass, but dump it because that's just the right amount that you need. Okay. And the second thing is for the cocktail shaker when you're doing your shake, and always put your finger on the top so it doesn't fly off and go go everywhere. Excuse me. And the size of your ice is very important. So give it a whack in a Ziploc bag so that it's maybe 1/2 to 3/4 inch chunks rather than crushed or regular full ice cubes, because then it won't get cold enough, and if it's too small, it melts when you're doing the shaking, so that's not a good thing. If you're interested in doing some of the traditional ones like Cosmopolitans or Bloody Marys, margaritas are huge for this event.
Beer too?
Beer too, and especially now with all the craft breweries that are out there, you can go to you can go to the beer store and buy 5 different kinds of beer, and then you can have 5 different kinds of glasses to get the right elements of the flavor that come out in the beer, other than just beer.
And for those who like wine, like me, you've got something too.
Well, for if you're going somewhere and you're taking a bottle of wine and you want to take a little house gift with you, the little stopper, which is a kitty cat, which is kind of cute. That's kind of fun.
There. How's that?
That's kind of fun. And don't forget the fruit. The fruit's important because it's the garnish.
Okay, we're going to talk about that too. Let's talk about that now. This is kind of old school. This is not your electric juicer,
nope.
But it works the same.
It does.
And you sell lots, you say?
We sell hundreds of these, and they're very, very popular, and the design hasn't changed in, best I can tell, about 70 years since I first started making them. All these little bubbles around the edge are all designed that when you squeeze your orange or your lemon, that the seeds get trapped in this part here. So that when you go to pour out, no seeds. How about that?
Nice. Very, very nice. And make sure you cut it very, very thin, you say?
Thin. The garnishing is always the trick in terms of finishing it off to make it look really good. So a Caesar isn't a Caesar without a great big stalk of celery sticking out of it, or one of those cool dill pickles on a stick going across it. It's just a little extra, but it makes it look really fancy. And the other thing, too, is chocolate's a big thing. I think I was telling you earlier. It's hard to believe, but Wolfgang Puck, one of the most famous chefs in the world, he did 8,000 chocolate, 3-inch chocolate Oscar replicas, which is incredible. He only needed 7,000, but because they're so difficult to do, they had to go after 8. Isn't that amazing?
That's kind of interesting. We'll be watching for that, and I can imagine around your place it's going to be an interesting Oscar night. And we have been at the Keeping Room here in Dundas, so you may want to come in here and just check the place out because you'll be here for hours. There's a lady from None of It here who comes down all the time. She's still here, and she's been here a long time. So there's all kinds of neat things. Thanks for letting us come in. You have a great Oscar night, and you folks at home have a great Oscar